Hi, everybody. Welcome to Yoga with Anna. It's the Wednesday midweek reset, and I'm here with Sandy. How you doing, girl? I miss you.
I miss you too. I know, Anna, I'm on location today because I wanted to talk a little bit about what we have going on this Friday night. We're going to be doing a unique integrated recovery practices group where we're going to have a self-care focus and we're going to talk about infrared saunas. So I thought it would be very appropriate if I actually did the podcast today from the actual sauna. So we have a member who some of you may know. His name is Stanley, and he had this amazing idea to create a little members only healing sanctuary over in Hingham at an undisclosed location that you will only find out about if you become a member. And so I'm here at our undisclosed location, and here is said sauna. And excuse my not having a professional situation here, but let me just open it up and show you that right now it's cranking. Let's see, it's up to 115 degrees. I turned it on about 10 minutes ago. And so this is going to be a benefit of membership for the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, guys. You're going to get an hour in our sauna to be able to unwind, de-stress at the end of the day for the bargain price of 20 bucks. And why I think this is such a cool idea is because sometimes like you don't want to have to go to a spa, you don't want to have to go to a gym, you don't want to have to encounter other humans when you're trying to de-stress. So some of the benefits of infrared saunas have been illuminated to me over the last couple of years just listening to some of the podcasts that I'm into about extending your life, anti-aging techniques. And the infrared sauna is an amazing tool because it tricks your body into thinking that you're kind of still working out. If you're post-workout and you sit in a sauna, your biorhythms are going to mimic the workout that you just did for a little while longer, which is actually going to help with weight loss. It helps with memory. It actually helps to completely calm your parasitic nervous system. I can't say that. Parasympathetic nervous system. I got this. And it helps to also produce human growth hormone. So without actually taking anything into your body, the infrared sauna helps your body to sort of, relax, reduce your age. Imagine like just sitting in a sauna 3 times a week. They're saying could extend your life by 2.5 freaking years, guys. Like this is all news to me. I'm not trying to be like an infomercial for saunas or anything, but I think as a community, we've been talking a lot about ways that we can calm our central nervous system. So of course, we talk a lot about breath work. We talk a lot about yoga, and Stan adding this as an offering for the community, I think is really brilliant because it just aligns with everything else that we're trying to do, right? Detox, de-stress, and just kind of chill the hell out. So I'm so excited to take advantage of this new perk of being a member of PCSM Church. So thank you, Stanley, so much for that. I also wanted to just give a quick little shout out to Madcap Moksha. I always have a hard time with that Madcap Moksha, which is our beautiful friend Kathleen's creation, her business baby, where she takes the herbs that she grows on her beautiful land in Scarborough, Maine, and then she tinctures it up for us so that we can explore the benefits on the go. So I have this Tulsi running through my system right now before I do the yoga, followed by the sauna, which is going to help as an adaptogen to, again, calm the nervous system. It's antibacterial, antimicrobial. I'm not going to make medical claims, but people say it also can help with depression, insomnia, or your digestion. Tulsi is a delicious, lovely local herb that every herbalist should have in their medicine tool chest. So thank you, Kathleen, for this beautiful offering. I'm very excited to have partaken in this sacrament today before we begin our practice. So I'm super pumped about that. And then one last shout out, when you do come use the sauna, you're going to be cleaning it with earthen oil, amazing all natural products made by Sarah Robbins and her business partner, Ellie. Thank you so much for this offering as well, guys. So we're going to keep it clean over here. We're going to keep it private. It's going to be like your own little personal, getaway spot. So I'm super excited to share this with the community. And again, thank you, Stanley, for thinking of this brilliance. And I hear there might even be a massage chair going in. So basically you're going to rent the space by the hour. You can either use the chair or the sauna, or you can use both. Just don't sweat in the chair, please, because we're going to be sharing it. So yeah, and it just so happens, Anna, that my yoga mat fits absolutely perfectly in the room with the sauna. So I'm going to go straight from yoga-ing to sauna-ing, and I think I might be the luckiest person that you know right now.
Nice. Well, I'm so excited, and unfortunately, I can't see you, so I can't see this amazing place that you're at right now. But I'm looking forward to, partaking in this wonderful body, mind, and spirit experience through the sauna. So I can't wait.
So come on Friday night and you're going to learn more about the infrared sauna. That was the point of this spiel, is that we will meet at 7:00. Presentation starts at 7:30. And then the other part of self-care that we're introducing this week, finally, is we're going to go out dancing. So we're going to be planning to leave the chapel by 8:45. We're going to go over to Capo. We're going to support DJ Wyatt and DJ Johnny Dow, who are going to be holding it down over there in South Boston at the club. So of course, self-care dance as a form of self-care is going to be another highlight of this Friday night. So if you're into infrared saunas and you're into dancing, then hit me up, RSVP, go to pcsam.org, smash that RSVP button.
I will be there. And then I think next Friday, so that's this Friday, and then next Friday, which is the 20th, is my Friday night. I haven't posted it yet because I had to switch the dates up on my offering for the integrated practices group. But we are heading into a new moon, and then we will have the waning moon, and we will have a waning moon or a waning moon yoga practice, yoga nidra practice on the 20th. So October 20th, I will be offering about a half an hour of movement and then about an hour of yoga nidra. And a waning moon coming from a full moon is essentially what we're doing is we're going to be re-energizing, restoring, and we're going to be taking a moment to write what we want to release. And it's basically an opportunity for when this full moon energy begins to decrease, it is about releasing, surrendering. So we'll have a moment to get into all that and write down something that we would like to release and safely burn it away. So that we can move into a new space and place within ourselves to bring in what we want, bring in and manifest what we would like within the next moon's energy. So that will be the 20th, and I'm excited about this Friday. So lots of things happening these Fridays here at PCSM. Go to PCSAM. And lots of things happening here at PCSM. So, I never really get to talk about my blocks, which are props, and they're not here just to look good. They're here for a function. So I always tell my students to invest in a set of blocks because I think that it's really important to have these to support your practice, especially if you're beginning your practice too. So I wanted to show you a couple of ways, and Sandy, I don't know if you have blocks with you, but I'm just going to take a couple of minutes here just to show you some different ways that we can include blocks in our practice. So blocks have three sides. We have the lowest side, the mid-range, so side one, I always call it side one, side two, side three, which is the highest. And blocks can come into play by, one, working within the heart space and coming into a place where you can actually rest on the blocks and support the lower back all the way up to the mid-shoulders as we lie down. And actually, if you would like to lie down, please go ahead and lie down. We'll start lying down today. And this is one way that you can begin to settle into a shavasana or just support, like maybe you've had a long day at work and you want to come home and rest, but you're feeling, one of the things that you notice is that you're constantly during the day hunched over a computer, you're texting, you're constantly in this rolled forward shoulder. So the blocks, you can use a bolster too, but today we're specifically talking about blocks. You can use a block to counter that and take these shoulders in an opposite direction. So instead of protecting your heart or constantly being in a place of rounded shoulders, you can take a few minutes and lie down and allow your heart and your body to settle into this position. And allow yourself to just feel that stretch in the front body. So that's one way that you can, take some downtime in the evening, use a block. Another way is that sometimes we need to support our head when it comes to a yoga practice. Remember, I tell you sometimes if you have a hard time reaching the hips back like in a child's pose, you can always rest your head on a block, just so. Another way that you can support yourself using blocks is using them for your seat. A lot of people have really tight hips and can't bring their knees all the way down, and this begins to strain and kind of shake and tense up, and it becomes really uncomfortable. So angling these blocks, or however you feel comfortable taking the blocks, you can even replace them to, if you're lying down, put them under your knees, put them under your thighs to take a butterfly position, or take them to the outsides, edges of the thighs to support a cross-legged seat. Another way that you can support yourself with a block is when you're sitting cross-legged and it's uncomfortable, raising the hips higher than the knees also helps sitting on a block. So those are just a few ways. You've also seen me use blocks as an extension of my arms. So when we are having wrist issues and we want to take the pressure off the wrists, getting into a down dog using blocks just so is a little easier on the wrists. Okay, so I will stop there just to show you a few ways that we can use the blocks to support our practice. I highly, highly, highly recommend you invest in a set of blocks. You can find them at your local Target store, in the athletic section, or lots of different places. Just look in the yoga section. I think we have, Big Lots? Not Big Lots, that's in California. What is it? Job Lots, that's it. Job Lots, they have a yoga section. Amazon, Marshalls, places like that you can find block sets that even come with a strap. So highly, highly recommend. All right, so we're going to start on our backs if you're not up there already. And of course, you're always welcome to use a block for your mid-shoulders. And I'm just going to start just so. This is another way that you can support a heart opening place. And just allow yourself to settle into your mat or wherever you are, on a chair. Tapping into your breath, allowing for that deep breath to come in, to move the diaphragm. As you exhale, bring the pelvic floor up, so lift it up as you exhale out. Inhale, relax, and breathe in. The muscles in the pelvic floor area automatically relax. As you exhale, gently pulling up the pelvic floor. And this is so that you can get a maximum breath into the lungs, working all of the muscles that support the breath, the diaphragm. Just allowing your legs to feel heavy. And feeling fully supported. And as we settle into our breath, we can bring our hands to our heart and our stomach, our tummy, or just to our hearts. And we're going to breathe in our intention once you are there. So just take a moment here to bring in an intention for your practice. Another breath in. And releasing the arms by your side. I'm going to gently roll over to one side so I can remove the block from my shoulders. And from here, gently coming back to your mat with your intention. Let's bring the knees up and bring them into chest. Give a nice squeeze and rock side to side. Release the legs, extend them, and bring your arms over the head for a full body stretch. Extend the legs long, extend the arms long. And then from here, let's gently reach with the right arm and reach with the left. And as you reach, extend one leg and then extend the other, kind of like you're climbing. And then let's bring that right knee to chest, squeeze in, flex the foot point and rotate if that feels good, or maybe flexing both feet. Squeezing in and then take that knee to the shoulder. And then release your left hand, bring the palm down, bring it to a half T, and then allow that right knee to fall over to the right side. Now I got something else for you. Once you're here, you can reach for the outside of the foot or peace finger your toe and extend the leg. And you can have a nice bend in the knee, whether you're reaching for the shin or the outside of the foot. I love to peace finger my toe. And then if your left hip is lifting, you can gently place your left hand on your hip. And it's not about extending all the way through. It's just about a light pressure into the hand and an opening of the hip. So see how my hip just opened up and it went a little further. So it's kind of like a half happy baby, I guess you could say. Or you could just take the leg out. Bring the knee back to center, take a nice squeeze in. And I apologize, I'm a little nasally today. I'm getting over my sinus cold. Fun times in the fall. Extend, full body stretch. Reach for that left knee. Squeeze in, point and flex and rotate. And then bring that knee towards the shoulder. we're just breathing into the hip space, into that left hip joint. And when you're ready, you can stay right here, right where you are, or you can reach for your toe or the outside of the foot to extend out. So I'm going to reach for my toe and extend it out. My right arm is going to come into a half T, and then my leg is going to, if it wants to, fall a little bit out to the right side. And whatever you're comfortable with. So sometimes you're tighter on one side than the other, a little more flexible, and that's okay. It doesn't have to match. Slight bend in the knee, and noticing how I'm moving my knee, just kind of giving my muscles some stretch, some give, and some contraction. And then I'm going to bring it back, squeeze in, and release for a full body stretch. Nice deep breath in. Let's walk the hands and the feet over to the right side, creating a crescent moon shape. And then maybe that right hand can reach for that left, and you can gently pull that left arm a little bit further to the right side so you can get a little bit more deeply into this left side body. Or you can even cross that left leg over the right. And then let's walk all the way to center, and same thing, opposite side. Walk the legs to the left side. Maybe that right leg goes over the left, and then walk the arms over to the left side. If that feels too intense, you can just ease off. And then let's walk back to center. Full body stretch again. And then we're going to take the hands to the knees, and we're going to bring those knees up, hands on the knees, and knee circles to massage the lower back. Take it in one direction, and then taking it in the opposite direction. Squeeze in and release. Let's come into a supine butterfly. I'm bringing my arms over the head because it feels so good. Or take your arms into a cactus, bring the soles of the feet together, and here's another way that you can support your butterfly. If that feels intense, you can support your thighs with the blocks. So chest is opening, hips are opening, and maybe a little flutter of the legs. And then bring the knees back up, arms by your side, windshield wiper back and forth. Or again, you can take your arms to a half T. All right, so from here, let's squeeze our legs in, and we're going to rock up and down. Up and down, massaging the back. And then come to seated. All right. So I'm going to swing my legs around and come into a tabletop position. Nice deep breath in. We're going to get into cat-cow. On the in-breath, drop the belly, tilt the tail, and take the gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, let's round in, tuck the chin to chest, and tuck the tail. So a little bit of this extension and rounding of the spine just to warm up. Inhaling as you extend the spine and take the gaze up. Exhaling as you round in. Pull the navel in as you move the body, extending and flexing in. And then come back to your tabletop and then a gentle sway back and forth with the hips and then begin to take them around. Circular motion with the hips, both directions. And then tuck the toes under, shift the hips back, extend the arms forward, a little puppy pose. Allow the heart to gently reach down towards the earth. And you can rest your head on a block or take the head all the way down. Shift those hips back. Reach those arms forward. Again, you can tent the fingers or leave the hands flat, all up to you. And then a little shift back and forth. And then come back to your tabletop. Uncurl the toes. Bring the hips back. On the inhale, arms are going to come up. So hips are on the heels, arms are going to come up. And then we're going to exhale, float the arms down. Nice deep breath in as the arms rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale that right arm up and over as we ground the left. And then if you want to take it a little further, reach back. And then switch sides. Left arm over the left ear. Maybe taking it back. Pressing the heart forward. And then gently coming back to center. Inhale, arms come up. Reach up and back and exhale, float the arms down. This time, reach back, interlace the fingers, bring those shoulders back. So reach those wrists towards the back of the mat. And take a moment here just to feel those shoulders reach back. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, hinge over, take a bow. Maybe those arms come off the back. Shoulders away from the ears. See if your palms can touch and make contact. Inhale, pull the navel in. Come all the way back up. Arms reach up. Palms touch. Palms come to heart. Bring your arms forward. Come back into your tabletop. Curl the toes under. Let's come into a down dog. Walk your dog. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Press the heart towards that left thigh. Bend the knee. Stack the hip. So that right hip's going to stack over the left. And then let's rotate the hip. And go the opposite direction. Extend long, toes point down. And then bring it all the way back. Inhale, left leg rises long. Press the heart towards the thigh. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Nice breath here. And then rotate the hip. Going the opposite direction. Extend long, toes point down, and bring your feet back to your down dog. Walk your dog. Now let's lift the heels high, bend the knees, take the gaze between the hands, and then take those knees a few inches above the mat and take a hover. Bring the knees down and then come all the way down. So walk the hands a little bit forward. Come all the way down to your belly. Going into cobra pose, nice deep breath in, hands underneath the shoulders, and an exhale. Chin on the mat, press all 10 toes in as you take that deep breath in. Tuck the elbows, lift the chest, slide the heart forward, gaze forward, and then take the gaze up to the sky without lifting the chin. Lift the heart a little bit higher on the in-breath. Don't hold your breath because it's so easy to hold your breath here. And exhale, come all the way down. All right, so we're going to do that again, but we're not going to take a break this time. And usually I have us rest in between, but this time we're not going to do that. Take a nice deep breath in, press all 10 toes in. Without clenching the buttocks, tuck the elbows in, press the heart forward, slide it forward, and lower. Tuck the toes under, gently lifting to table, and then back to a down dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, take the gaze between the hands, walk the feet to meet the hands forward, fold. Allow for a little ragdoll. Arms can dangle or you can take a bind. So notice here when I keep my head up, I'm still tense in the shoulders, so I really want to let go of my head and allow it to fall, allow the upper body to gently fall. And then inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, plant those palms, step back with both feet. We're going to plank or modify plank. Pull the navel in either way. So if you're in full plank and you're pulling the navel in but the belly's falling or collapsing, then you want to bring the knees down to work your way up to keeping that tummy in. So just notice if you get tired, just drop the knees down, tuck the elbows, come all the way down, chest comes down, slide forward, come to an up dog. And then let's curl the toes under and come to a down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, shift to a plank. And then we're going to bring that right leg across underneath that left leg. And then gently press forward, or press down, bend the elbows, and then gently press up. So a little half press and come down. So you can do this with the knee down. It's just a little stretch of a hip and come down so. And lift back up. Switch sides. Come to your plank. Lower down. Gently press up. Let's do that one more time to lower and press. Again, you can do that with the knee down. And then let's bring it back, bring the knees down, child's pose, so you don't hate on me. So, option here to take the knees wide. I usually don't make you do any presses, but I did today. Just a little upper body strength. Resting the forehead. And then gently walking the hands back. Let's bring the knees back if they've gone wide and gently come back to your down dog. All right. Inhale, heels high, bend the knees, switch the gaze and walk the feet to the hands, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift, and let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. All right, so we're going to do a little balancing pose, and we're going to come, today was a day of a pose called awkward pose. It's awkward pose because it is a little awkward, but it's okay. It's a balancing pose, and what we're going to do, and I think that probably, well, facing this way will work. So we are at the top of the mat, and that's just fine. You can come anywhere onto your mat, wherever you're comfortable. And I'm going to show you what awkward is going to look like. So remember, it's a balancing pose. We do a lot of work here for our feet, so we're going to come to the top of the feet, and this is what it's going to look like. It's going to come to the top of the toes for balance, okay? So this is going to be a little challenging, or maybe not so challenging for some. And remember what I always say. You can make it as gentle or as challenging as you want to make your practice, or as you need to make your practice. So I am just your guide, and I'm going to show you what the posture looks like. But remember, even if you were to just get on the tippy toes and gently lift the heels and lower yourself, you're in the posture. So let's just take a nice deep breath in. Reach up and exhale. Lower the arms down. Feet are about hip distance apart. Arms are going to come in front of us, straight forward, palms down. A nice deep breath in as we pull the navel in. Come onto our tiptoes. So you don't have to do this right now. You can just see what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to bend my knees, begin to lower my hips, and stay nice and upright, and slowly come all the way down. Now you can go as far down as you would like. I'm going to come all the way down. And here's where you can really test some of the balance and bounce. Now here's the challenging part. We're going to lift. Come all the way back up. And then lower the heels. Okay, so that's awkward pose. And a lot is happening. As you can tell, my heart rate is up. I'm breathing a little faster. I'm perspiring a little bit. Right? So it doesn't take much to warm up the body and heat up the body. And this is a posture that really does that too. All right, so if you want to do it with me, remember that just taking the arms out, or even placing the hands on the hips and lifting the heels and bending this way, you're in awkward pose. Okay, so don't fret and say, oh my gosh, I can't do that. That's your thinking mind telling you you can't do it, but you can do it a little steps at a time, okay? All right, so my arms are going to come in front of me. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in, lift my heels, and on the exhale, my knees are pointing forward. I'm breathing, pulling the navel in. I'm lifting my heels, so my weight is shifting forward, so I need to balance it by leaning back a little bit. And I'm going to come all the way down. And then come all the way up. Okay, you can stay here for a little bit. Okay, woo! All right, and lower the arms. Take a sway. All right, so if you didn't do the first set, let's do it again. All right. Feet hip distance apart. And you can do this in front of a chair. So if you have a chair in front of you or something for support, you can even take a counter, arms in front of you, a nice deep breath in, lift onto the toes, exhale, begin to lower. So remember, props, anything that can help you get to where you want to go with your practice. And then come all the way back up slowly. Woo! And then back we go. All right. Let it go. We got through it. Sway the arms. Let's come to the top of the mat. All right. A nice deep breath in. Reach up. Press the palms together and reach back. Press the hips forward. On the exhale, let's swan dive down for our forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift. Exhale, plant those palms, step back into your plank, and breathe. Stay here. Little upper body strength. Let's take the legs out to the width of the mat. And just hold here. Then bring the feet back. And hold here. Now, if you want to bring the knees down, come all the way down. We'll chaturanga, slide forward, come to your up dog. Come to your down dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, switch the gaze, come to the top of the mat. And forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, come into your half lift, and let's root to rise, come all the way back up. This time, arms stay parallel to the ears, sit in your chair. Tuck the tail, pull the navel in, lift the heart, sit a little lower, and breathe. Gaze forward, tuck the tail, pull the navel in, lift the chest, hands come together and come to the heart. Let's forward fold. A little bend of one knee and the other. And then take the gaze forward, drop the hips down, lift the heels, land on the heels, and then gently come all the way back to your forward fold. And again, drop the hips, bring them down towards the heels, come to your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, plant the palms, step back with that right foot, plant that right knee down, and shift back into a half split. Then let's shift forward and back a little bit. So again, this is where you can also use your blocks to stay lifted. So sometimes I see students, very hunched over, so the blocks can really help to open up the heart and lift the body. So come to your half splits, and then you can take that foot down, get a nice stretch at the top of the foot. Inhale, lift through the crown, stay nice and long. And then from here, shift forward. That left knee is going to stack over the ankle. Let's ground that right palm. Inhale, that right arm up, and if you want it, that left arm up. And if you want to take a balancing pose, you can tuck those toes under and take the balancing pose. Or not. And then float that arm back down. From here, curl those toes under. If they're already curled, just extend that front leg and bring your forehead towards the knee. I'm going to bring my blocks. We're going to go into a little balance here. Forehead to knee. Shift that left hip back. And then from here, shift forward. You're going to come into a warrior one. So you can balance on the blocks or stay lifted, bringing the hands to heart center. You can extend the arms, reaching in opposite directions. And then drop the hands all the way down and gently bring the forehead towards the knee. And then gently bring that foot back to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your flat back. Exhale, plant those palms. Step back with both feet. And let's chaturanga down. Tuck the elbows, pull that navel in, chest lowers, slide forward and up for your up dog. And come back to your down dog. Inhale, heels high, switch the gaze between the hands and walk your feet to meet your hands, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your flat back. Exhale, plant those palms, left foot steps back, ground that left knee. Bring those hips back towards that back heel. Come to your half splits. Stay nice and lifted. So you can lift that foot up, or I like to press it down to get that stretch in the front of the foot. And then notice what it feels like if you shift the right hip back, the left hip, and then reach those hips back. Then maybe you can bring the foot onto its heel. Inhaling and staying nice and lifted through the crown. And exhale, bring the foot flat, ground that left hand, and right arm's going to open up to the sky. Again, you can take that balancing pose by curling those toes under the left foot and reaching up and back. Gently float that arm back down. And then if your knee stayed on the mat, gently lift that knee back up, curling the toes under, extend that front leg, forehead to knee. Nice deep breath. And then from here, again, I'm going to take my blocks so that they can assist me in my lift. We're going to come into warrior three. Strong standing leg. Those hands can come into prayer position at the heart center. Reach that leg back. Maybe arms reach forward. And then bring the hands back down to the mat. Take the forehead towards the knee. And then bring that back foot to meet the front. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift. Exhale, plant those palms, step back with both feet, and come to your plank. And then drop the knees down, come into a child's pose or wide-legged child's pose. And just allow yourself to settle. I'm going to bring my arms by my side, gently ground my third eye. And I'm going to bring my hands by my side. Lift myself back up so I can shift my hips to one side and swing my legs around. Shift to the middle of the mat. And let's extend that left leg, bring that right leg over the left, flex the left foot, and let's take a twist. Let's take that left arm and hug that right leg in. Take that right arm behind you to support your back. And then we're going to take a gentle twist over to the right side. Then we're going to gently unwind and switch sides. Extend that right leg long. Left leg crosses over the right. Right arm squeezes around that left knee. And then take that left hand behind you to support your back. Flex that right foot if that feels good, or you can relax it. A nice deep breath in as you lengthen, and exhale as you take that twist over to the left side. Peeking over the left shoulder. Nice deep breaths. And then slowly unwinding. Coming back to center. Bend the knees. Reach forward. Take that lean back. Take a little boat pose here. So find your sits bones, the front and the back. So take that balance. And then remember that we can begin the balance by just tapping. And then finding our balance, bringing the legs about parallel to the mat, or you can take them higher. And lower all the way down. Lower those legs down, and then gently pulling the navel in, lowering all the way down. Head comes down last. Bring the knees into chest. Give them a nice tight hug. A little sway side to side. All right, so let's cross the legs. The right leg is going to cross over the left. And let's take our arms into a T, palms down. Bring those knees closer to your chest. And then we're going to gently bring those knees over to the left side. Take the gaze to the right side. So it's a little bit more of an intense twist because you're crossing the legs, breathing through. So you'll feel that stretch right on the outside of the hip. If you want a little bit more of an intense stretch, you can squeeze the legs together. And then gently lift the legs, come back to center, switch sides, crossing the left leg over the right, and then gently shifting those knees over to the right side. And again, you can support, if it's too intense to bring the knees all the way down, you can use a block to help keep the lift. Take the gaze to the left side. So I'm squeezing in a little bit more. I can feel this stretch all the way through my left arm. And then gently bring those knees back and unwind and release. All right, let's take supine pigeon. That, since we did the, let's see, we did the cross. Yeah, let's do the right side, right ankle on top of the left thigh. Flex that foot, reach through the legs, interlace the fingers underneath that left thigh, slightly tuck the chin, flex both feet, and gently pull that thigh towards you. Nice deep breaths as you ease through the sensations. You can feel really intense if you're really tight. Don't give up. Just breathe through. The fascia is such a thick, intense, tight layer of our body. So it takes a lot to get through our fascia layer. And this is just stretching the fascia. That's a whole other class. All right, let's release. And then take that left ankle to the right thigh. Allow that knee to fall open. Reach through. And then interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh. Gently flex the feet and pull that right thigh towards you. Relax the shoulders. Slightly tuck the chin. And gently release across the legs. Gently widen the stance, feet to the edges of the mat, and take the knees back and forth. And then let's gently squeeze those knees in, find your happy baby. Taking the outsides, reaching for the outsides of the feet, or peace finger your toes. Just one last little movement here before we go into Shavasana. Or take any last movements that feel good to you so that you can settle in, maybe a full body stretch, or you can take a little bridge pose, a shoulder stand. And then float your arms by your side. Allow the body to relax, maybe tucking the shoulders underneath the body. Toes fall open. And you did it. You reached the end of class, and I am so proud of you for sticking through it, not giving up, and allowing yourself some self-care, some well-deserved midweek self-care. That's what I'm here for. Here for you. Nice deep breaths, allowing your body to feel supported. You are so loved. You are supported, fully supported. Feel Mother Earth as she supports you and loves you. And let's give that back to her. Returning that loving, grounding energy towards the earth. Maybe coming back to your intention. Again, you are so welcome to stay right where you are. But I am going to begin my shift to come back up to seated by rolling onto my side and lifting up so I can seal our class today. And then begin to bring just little subtle movements into the body, bringing yourself back into your space. Maybe a rotation of the wrists or a nice juicy stretch. Maybe a nice little yawn. And when you're ready, rolling over to your side to a little fetal position. And then if you're going to sit back up and meet me, bringing your hands to the heart center. To seal class today, I invite you to join me to bring your prayer hands up to your third eye. Always a good reminder to think kind thoughts, especially about yourselves. Down to your lips, to speak kind words, especially to yourselves. And then to your heart, as a reminder to live life full of love, full of joy, lots of self-care, courage, and lots of grace. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for letting me guide your midweek reset